Hey, how are we doing out there, folks? It's me back again this week. So last week was really good week for us in terms of the picks. I got basically all the picks right except for one, so that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, actually I got so there's 14 games. I went 13-1 last week in terms of my picks. So yeah, that's pretty good. And I'll count myself at 12-2 because I technically didn't pick the Buccaneers Eagles game. But that was last week. This is this week, and this week is shaping out to be potentially harder to pick, but we'll see. Yeah, so today's game, and this game is today. But we are still 3 hours away from this game being played, so man, today's game is a doozy because the Browns are really injured right now. And the Broncos are terrible. So yeah. I'm actually going to go with the Broncos on this one because when they've played teams that are around their skill level or worse, they have tended to win. And I have a feeling without Baker Mayfield this week, because Baker Mayfield is injured, Case Keenum is the Browns quarterback this week. With Case Keenum as quarterback this week, I don't see the Broncos winning this game. Case Keenum used to be the Broncos quarterback a couple of years ago. And Case Keenum, when he was on the Vikings, was a really good player. So I feel like Case Keenum has the talent to be able to win a game. But without Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, Jarvis Landry, OBJ, a lot of their Browns defense, this Browns team is just so injured right now, I just don't see them winning this game. Even if how bad the Broncos are. This game is tonight. We'll see if I get this pick right. But I think this game is going to be really low scoring. I think maybe even it's 17-10 Broncos win. Chiefs Titans. Now this is an interesting game because I feel like both teams are on the same skill level right now. The Chiefs are just not playing up to their potential of how they should. That being said, their defense is so bad that Derrick Henry is basically just probably going to run all over it. I'm actually going to go with potentially what a lot of people would think would be considered an upset pick here and pick the Titans to win this game. I think the Titans win this game 42 to 32, or 42 to 35. I say 42 to 35 because I just don't know how the Chiefs are going to stop the Titans. Both teams have awful defenses. And I just think the Chiefs' defense is slightly worse, to be honest. And, Derrick Henry is going to unleash, most likely. Because the Chiefs have one of the worst rushing offenses in the league. And rushing defenses in the league, and that's coming out right now. And Patrick Mahomes has done awful this season in terms of, turning over the football. Dude has scored a lot of touchdowns, but that's to be expected from him at this point. But he needs to clean it up. He is turning the ball over more than he has in his whole career thus far. And it's not good. And it's part of the reason that the Chiefs are not doing that great this year. Everybody wants to praise Patrick Mahomes all the time, but we got to look at his faults sometimes too. And I think he's got a lot of faults that are hurting the Chiefs right now. It's going to be a high-scoring game for sure, but man, I'll be surprised if the Chiefs actually come away with a win. If the Chiefs lose this game, I think that has to be the wake-up call at that point. If the Titans win, they will be the team that everybody thought they would be. But I think they're going to win too. So yeah, Titans get the dub there. Washington versus Green Bay. Alright, so I think the Packers will win this game. To me, the Packers are doing really well this season. They're playing very well. They won their last few games pretty handily. The Washington defense is pretty good, but I just see the Packers just winning this game outright. Probably something like 31 to 24, something like that. Yeah. Bengals Ravens. Now I'll actually be at this game in the stadium. I have tickets to go there because I'm a Ravens fan, and it's in Baltimore, so I'll be at the game, which is something I'm looking forward to. I think the Ravens will win this game. I like the Bengals a lot this year. I think they're a really good team. But the Ravens are just cruising right now. And I just don't see how the Bengals stop the Ravens. I thought, if there was one team that was going to beat the Ravens within the next few weeks, it'd be the Chargers. I don't think the Bengals are as good as the Chargers. And based off what I saw from the Ravens last week against the Chargers, I have to say the Ravens have a really good shot at winning this, and I think they're going to. By the way, this is a game for first place in the AFC North. The winner of this game will take first place in the AFC North for right now. So this is a big game for this division because this is the Ravens' first divisional game. It's the Bengals' second divisional game. And whatever team gets a win, gets a huge win there. So, yeah, now in terms of the score, I think the Ravens win this game maybe even something like 27 to 24. I think it's going to be a close game. Joe Burrow's for real. And so is Jamar Chase. But I feel like the Bengals defense just has never been able to slow down Lamar Jackson. They're not going to this game either. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. I think the Ravens take the lead early in this game, and I think they just put their foot right on the gas. Even if the Bengals do score some points, I think the Ravens continue to go and win this game, even if it's close. Giants and Panthers. I'm going to have to go with the Panthers on this one. The Panthers get a win get back into the win column after losing a few games in a row. But the Panthers are a better team than the Giants are. The Giants are really injured right now. The Panthers are pretty bad too, but I think overall the Panthers are a better team. I think the Panthers win this game 23 to 13. It shouldn't be that hard for them to win. Falcons versus the Dolphins. The Dolphins are absolute trash. They lost to the Jags last week. They're going to lose this week again to the Falcons. The Falcons are going to expose how bad this Dolphins team is. It's so crazy. The Dolphins barely missed the playoffs last year, and then this year they can't even do anything at all. It doesn't even make any sense whatsoever, but yeah, they're a bad team. Tua Tagovailoa, I've always said this, he's overrated as hell. I think people are finally understanding that, and I think the Dolphins are going to have to draft a quarterback next season. Definitely, and the Falcons, unless they choke this win away, which they shouldn't be able to this time, hopefully. But yeah, I think the Falcons easily score 35 on these guys. I think the Falcons win this 35-17. I'm going to go ahead and say it, 35-17. The Dolphins trash. Jets-Patriots. This will be an interesting game. I think the Jets have a chance to win here, but I don't think they will. I think the Patriots take the dub here. The Patriots have had a tough schedule up to this point, so the record doesn't necessarily show the true story, but I don't think the Patriots are as good as they used to be, obviously. But I think Mac Jones is a better quarterback than Zach Wilson, and I think that the Jets are just not nearly as a complete team as the Patriots are. So I think the Patriots win this one like 24-13, something like that. It's going to be a lower scoring game, but a very important divisional game for sure. The Patriots are looking at a situation where if they can continue winning, maybe they get into a wild card conversation. And the Jets are just going to always be on the outside looking in. Eagles and Raiders. So both these teams I have hope for. I like the Eagles a lot. I think they're a good team. The Raiders, however, I think are slightly better, even with the loss of their coach the last couple of weeks, or a couple weeks ago, due to, controversy, essentially, is what I'll call it. So, um, yeah, this is a tough game, but because it's in Vegas, I'm gonna go with the Raiders. I think the Eagles do have a chance for the upset here, but in Vegas, with with the way the Raiders have been playing thus far this season, I think the Raiders take the dub here, 27-24. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Raiders barely eke out a win here, but I think it's definitely going to be close. The Lions and the Rams. Interesting. The two teams that traded quarterbacks this season. I think the Rams win this game pretty easily. The Lions are really bad. The only team in the NFL without a win so far. They've lost a lot of close games, and they've been blown out a couple times. But I think the Rams definitely don't lose to the Lions here. The Rams did last year lose to the Jets, but that was in a different situation. And I just don't see the Lions winning this game at all. I think they get blown out. I think they just lose pathetically. I think it's like 35-17. The Rams get the easy dub, especially at home. Buccaneers, Bears. Buccaneers, easy. Yeah, the Bears' defense is pretty good, but, it's the Buccaneers we're talking about. They might be down a couple of weapons on offense, but they're still a very complete team. The Bears are just mediocre on offense, decent on defense. The same old Bears, basically. They get a chance to win 4 to 5 games this season, maybe a few more than that. But beyond that, nah, they're not doing nothing this season, basically. Maybe at best they make the wild card round again, right? They could be a fringe playoff team, but you never know. I think the Bucks put up 35 on them. Easy. I might even go 35-17 here as well, just because I think that the Buccaneers are just that much better. Texans, Cardinals. So, this should be an easy one for the Cardinals. They should stay undefeated pretty easily. The Cardinals, I think, right now, they are the best team in football. So we'll see if that holds up come playoff time. Come playoff time, the Cardinals are going to have to battle the Buccaneers at some point. And whatever team. I think if you're looking at the NFC, I think there are a couple teams. I think the Cardinals might be exposed later in the season by some of the better teams that might be on their schedule. But they got the best schedule in football. Best record in football right now. They could be exposed by the Packers next week. They could potentially also be exposed by the Cowboys later on too. But I could see and maybe the Rams too. But I could easily see the Cardinals only losing 3 to 4 games this year. So yeah, I don't think that the Cardinals are gonna have any issues this year with most of that. I think the Cardinals easily win this one, maybe even 40-10 or something like that. That should be an easy blowout for them. The Colts versus the Niners. This is probably one of the better games this week. Probably one of the more evenly matched games, besides the Eagles and Raiders and Ravens and Bengals. But I think that this game is big for both teams, right? If the Colts can win, they get their season back on track. If the Niners win, they also do about the same thing, right? They're both looking not that great of teams, but they're not out of it yet. I personally think the Colts are a better team. I've seen a lot of good things coming from the Colts. I'm a Ravens fan, so I almost saw the Colts beat the Ravens a couple weeks ago. So I'm actually gonna go with the Colts. They've been playing well over the last few weeks, even though they're 1-1 over the last couple weeks. But I think the Colts are an overall better team here. I think they win this game maybe 27-23 or something like that. Should be a pretty good game. Saints versus the Seahawks. I'm gonna go with the Saints here. Even if the bad version of Jameis Winston shows up, I still think it's good enough to beat the Seahawks, considering the fact that they don't have Russell Wilson. We saw the Seahawks But the Steelers don't even play. I guess the Steelers have a bye week this week. We saw the Seahawks lose a close one to the Steelers last week, and I think the Saints are a more complete team than the Steelers are this year. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than people think, though. Maybe the Saints win at 24-17, which is only a touchdown win, but I think the Saints get it up here. Shouldn't be too hard, but it should be a bit of a closer game, though, people think. Not very interesting game, though, because both teams are kind of boring this year, but it is what it is. If you want to watch any games this week, the Chiefs-Titans game is going to be a fun one to watch. Ravens-Bengals will be fun this year. Eagles-Raiders, really good game there. And I'd say the Colts and 49ers, that's a really good game there, too. For drama reasons, the Lions versus Rams might be really fun to watch. Probably not, though, because it's probably just going to be a blowout. And then I think this Packers-Washington game has a chance to be kind of fun to watch, too. So yeah, there are a lot of games this week that are probably going to end up being pretty decent. But yeah, those are my picks this week, and we'll see you next week.